I have been playing PlayStation 1 games again, and I have been really nostalgic. I have been missing a lot of childhood memories. And in the video today, I'm going to try and unpack a bunch of stuff. The PS1 games I've been playing, a few stories from when I was a kid around the PS1 era, and this idea that's been nagging at me, this thing I've been stuck in. It's nostalgic for sure, but the idea of missing being a kid for certain things, the feeling of discovery, the wonder, and the simple joy. And is there a way to kind of cultivate that as an adult without living in the past and without messing up responsibilities and stuff? So I found an old CD case full of my childhood PlayStation 1 games, and I started to throw a few into the old PlayStation 2 that I had when I was a kid, and it is cool. Let me just talk about a few real quick. Wipeout, 1995, PlayStation's version of F-Zero. Sweet futuristic racing game. They have music from the Chemical Brothers and a bunch of other people, and it's a great, short, tight little experience. 30 minutes and you're done. You can reach the credits after just going through all the tracks once, and there's something like nice about that. If any of you have played older retro era games, you know there's this more arcadey sense of you play the game because it's fun and you're done. And when it's done, it's done. You either enjoyed it enough to play it again on another session, or you just kind of move on. I like that. It's a little refreshing. Obviously, today there are many gaming experiences that feel endless. Battle passes, live service, all that stuff. I've been playing The Legend of Dragoon again. This game I loved when I was a kid. JRPG from 1999. And I will tell you what, I'm 10 hours in. It is so slow. The battles take forever. The loading screens just linger. Everything moves at a crawl. And you would think with like modern game design sensibilities, you'd be impatient. You'd be like, oh, this is aged really poorly. Instead, it's kind of amazing. It's forcing me to slow down and just soak in the experience the way I did when I was a kid. To just listen to the music, to look at those pre-rendered backgrounds. Even the really bad text translations, I'm appreciating more. In a world where everything is so fast and our attention is always divided, this game is giving me a chance to be present and to slow down and to soak in something from the past where I just sit on the floor playing this game, loving it. I played some Klonoa, The Door to Phantomile. This is a really cool 2.5D platformer. Einhander, this is a PlayStation 1 shoot 'em up that you would absolutely see at like an arcade, at a pizza shop, or a bowling alley. Can't wait to play Metal Gear Solid next. Last time I played that was 2011 on the PS3. And I'm playing it on the PlayStation 2, which has most of the PS1 hardware on board, except for the GPU. So you're getting incredible sound. It's so much nicer than emulation. It's triggering MIDI files that are running through the sound chip, like the PS1 sound chip, and it's got the reverb, and it's really, really cool. Now, my cousin visited when I was a kid. I would see him a few times a year. He lived internationally. It was really fun, and we would always game, right? I remember playing NHL 98 on the PS1 with him. But one summer in particular, he brought his PS1 after he'd been living abroad, and he had a modded PS1. It could play import games. He started to unfold this soft Dance Dance Revolution mat, plugs it into the PlayStation 1, throws in a disc, and it's a Japanese copy of Dance Dance Revolution. And let me tell you, my mind was blown. I'd never seen DDR, so I had no idea you could play a game with your feet. And then also seeing a Japanese game with Japanese text on the menus playing. My whole world and entire notion of what gaming could be was shattered that day. It is one of my favorite gaming memories. It felt limitless, like there were this completely open-ended, no limitations world out there for games. And it brings me back to that sense of nostalgia. Because I miss a lot of those feelings. The joy, the wonder, the possibilities. A lot of those things that you just take for granted when you're a kid. And I know you can't live in the past. You have to grow up. You have to be able to juggle responsibilities and do all these things. But just this morning, I was like journaling and I was thinking about this because I've been playing the PS1. Would that younger self, that younger version of me, be stoked about who I am today? Like, would that younger self still have that sense of like possibility and joy and all that stuff? Because I'll be honest, from 2020 onward, life has been different. It feels tough. Everything is so expensive, and it's a continual grind just to try and keep up with the cost of food and housing and all of these things. It's just brutal. And ultimately, the nostalgia is getting at the fact that when you're a kid, you experience life differently. When you played a game, you weren't that worried about responsibilities. You didn't have a to-do list. You weren't thinking about your bills, the email inbox, or the weight of the world. You were just playing. That's obvious, okay? And it's very easy to look back with rose-colored glasses because not every era is just pure joy. There's always good that comes with the bad. But when you are a kid, a lot of that wonder and discovery is there for the taking. It's like untapped potential. You know, that DDR mat, for example, it wasn't a controller. It was this portal to a totally new experience. It lifted my ideas on the limitations of what a game could be, let alone that there were games released outside of the US. That was crazy to me. And sticking with the gaming idea, there was less pressure and just more play. You didn't play the games to maximize efficiency. You were just playing them to have fun. You weren't worried about a backlog as a kid, I don't think. I wasn't. That word didn't exist for a long time. There was no thoughts of I should be more productive right now, or I should be playing something else instead. You're playing for fun. And as you get older, you know, there's more obligations and pressure and responsibility. You're always aware of time slipping away. The world keeps changing. There's a lot more noise. There's more distractions. There's a lot more stuff trying to get your attention now. And it's hard to get back to some of those simpler joys because ultimately your brain is just different as you get older. Your expectations change and your ability to lose yourself in something is just different. And you can't really get it back. You can access parts of it, and I think that's important, but it's a double-edged sword, nostalgia. You do not want to get stuck in the past. It's good that you progress and you grow and you change and you realize more and more who you are and who you want to be. That's great. But there are a few things that I want to cultivate, things that are worth pursuing. Nostalgia can point you towards something valuable. There's always something bittersweet about nostalgia. It's not just sad, oh, I miss this thing. In some ways, it can be a reminder of stuff that matters to you, and maybe you've forgotten that. Missing joy and immersion and being present, those are important things to cultivate. So for me, I want to make a space moving forward for slowness. Like Legend of Dragoon, playing that game slowly, intentionally, not rushing, soaking it in has been helpful. How do you do that day to day with all your activities to try and recognize, oh, okay, life in the world moves really, really fast now. I need to make some time to slow down and appreciate today, the present. I want to find opportunities to tap into that sense of wonder. Trying experiences that I wouldn't normally pick. Sticking with the gaming example, trying a new genre or something new altogether. I just got to try PlayStation VR for the first time. I know I'm 10 years late to the VR trend, but it's been super, super cool. And it's way out of my comfort zone. It's new and it's different. I want to find opportunities to try new things and to keep that open mind of possibilities, that there is a world of greatness that hasn't been discovered, an activity, a hobby, a universe, whatever, that really interests you. You don't want to always treat fun as something you have to earn. You know, when you were a kid, you played, you didn't have to super justify it. I think if you have done your responsibilities and you've built good systems around your day-to-day goals and life stuff, like the adult stuff, you give yourself to, have fun, that permission to enjoy things without continually worrying about a side hustle or a to-do list or all that stuff. And ultimately, you have to make peace with change. Yes, we get older. Life gets harder. There's more responsibilities. That's a reality. But it doesn't mean you have to live in a grind mode forever. Responsibilities are real, but also is the need for joy. And trying to find a way to balance both is what I want to figure out. I don't know how, but I want some of the childlike sense of wonder without losing the edge as an adult. And there's got to be a way forward somehow in there. I still don't quite know how to unpack it all. Those are just my thoughts on what I've been experiencing, and thought I'd throw it out there. Be very curious if anybody else has thoughts and ideas on this. Nostalgia's crazy. Like I said, good reminder of some things you may want to cultivate, but also good thing to be cautious of because you don't want to get stuck in the past. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope everybody is having a great day, and I will see you again on Thursday.